Hi, my name is Scott Cutler, and I'm a planner with the City of Wheat Ridge Community Development Department. This is case number WS-21-08, a request for approval of a major subdivision in the mixed-use neighborhood zone district at 5807 to 5823 West 38th Avenue. I would like to enter into the public record the contents of the case file, the subdivision regulations, and this digital presentation. The property is within the City of Wheat Ridge. All appropriate notification and posting requirements have been met, and therefore the Planning Commission has jurisdiction to hear this case. This is a 2020 aerial view of the property, which is outlined in red. The site is located on the north side of West 38th Avenue between Eaton Street and Harlan Street, just to the northwest of the intersection with Fenton Street. It's about 1.4 acres in size and currently contains 2 lots. The eastern lot contains a commercial and retail building from 1960 and includes a large parking lot and multiple accessory buildings. The western lot contains 2 single-unit homes for the 1930s and multiple accessory buildings. There are a wide range of uses in the area. Properties to the west and south contain a range of commercial uses and are commercial in nature. Properties to the north contain single-unit homes and some smaller multi-unit properties. The properties to the east at the corner of 30th and Eden across the shared access easement were approved in 2021 for townhomes. This site and that previously approved site are not contiguous and will not have vehicular connections between them. The property is zoned mixed-use neighborhood, as are most of the properties along 38th Avenue in this area due to a legislative rezoning in 2012. Properties to the north are zoned R3, which allows multifamily and townhomes up to 12 units per acre, although they primarily contain single-unit homes as of now. The portion just to the east of the site, zoned NC, is the access easement I mentioned earlier. There are some lower density zones to the northeast along Eaton Street, generally R1A, but this property does not actually border any properties zoned for low density. The Community Development Department is reviewing an administrative site plan application, including civil construction documents for a mixed-use development on this property containing a mix of commercial and residential uses, including the partial preservation of the existing commercial building. A major subdivision is required to sell each residential unit separately as fee simple townhomes and to create common area tracts and utility easements. The subdivision consists of 30 lots and 1 common area tract to accommodate 29 townhome units and 1 commercial lot. City Code requires City Council approval of major subdivisions, even though the commercial and residential uses are already permitted uses for the property. Staff has found the site plan to be approvable, which includes the site layout, setbacks, architecture, landscaping, and parking. The developer will be responsible for maintaining the existing public improvements along 30th Avenue and reconstructing where needed. The plat also dedicates all necessary access, utility, and drainage easements for the development. The subdivision regulations are found in Article 4 of the Zoning Code. A subdivision is a reconfiguration of lots, tracts, or parcels for sale or development. It can create, remove, or define property lines. It allows the city to evaluate right-of-way, and it allows the city to evaluate civil construction documents. As a reminder, a subdivision plat does not affect the zoning or permitted uses on the property. It enables development already permitted by the current MUN zoning and allows the developer to sell the dwelling units to individual buyers. A major subdivision would not be required if the units were not being platted for sale. Subdivision approvals are ministerial in nature and are non-discretionary. Discussion of permitted uses and site design are not within Planning Commission or City Council's jurisdiction for subdivision approvals. The plat corresponds with the approvable site plan and allows each unit to be sold separately and for the commercial building to be placed on its own lot. Each of the townhome buildings are highlighted in red to show the general placement of the buildings. The buildings will consist of 2 to 5 units each and are generally set around the perimeter of the site, focusing on the central open space areas and parking. The units are set back significantly from the northern property line, which is adjacent to the R3 developments to the north. The other sides are adjacent to commercial or the access easement. The common areas, including the drive aisles and common open space, are placed in a tract to be owned and maintained by the Owners Association, and I'll show this in more detail in the next slide. The plat also dedicates easements which allows for distribution of utilities such as water and sanitation to each lot. These easements are being coordinated with each utility district. Tract A is being dedicated as common area tract, which includes public utility easements, water and sanitation easements, detention facility easements, open space, and parking for both the commercial building and assigned and guest parking for the residential uses. Everything highlighted in colors on this slide is included within Tract A. The green areas are primarily being used as a landscaped open space with some additional guest parking and pedestrian pathways. The access easements, adjacent commercial parking, and fire turnaround is shown in gray. A water detention facility will be placed below the parking areas and some open space in a vault, which is common for infill development projects. Lot 30, the commercial lot, also contains some open space at the front of the existing patio area that is not being shown as common open space in green. The plat does not contain a lot of the approvable site detail from the site plan application and only shows the necessary lot lines and easement lines. Since Wheat Ridge is not a full-service city, we sent the application on referral to outside agencies, including fire, water, and sanitation, as well as completed an internal review. Some utility upgrades will be required at the developer's expense and will be constructed with this project. There are no remaining comments on this application, and the engineering division has found the plat to be approvable pending minor typographical and notes corrections. The site plan, which includes the architecture, landscaping, and site design, has been found approvable by the Planning Division and does not require Planning Commission or City Council review. Construction documents are currently under review by the Engineering Division, and the site plan and construction documents are not part of this presentation nor decision. Before the hearing, the property was posted for 15 days and letters were sent to property owners and residents within a 600-foot radius. Comments collected on Wheat Ridge Speaks will be reviewed by the Planning Commission and entered into the public record. Ultimately, staff has concluded that the request complies with the subdivision regulations, corresponds with the approvable site plan, and all agencies can serve the property with upgrades required at the developer's expense. Approval of the plat will allow development of the site as allowed under the MUN zone district and permitted by the site plan to proceed. For all of those reasons, staff requests that Planning Commission recommend approval of the request. The major subdivision will go on to City Council for final approval. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.